First, I want to show you my Doom broom. Recently we cleared a pathway in here, so that's why it looks the way it does, but I did start to stash things out in the garage. This closet is also packed to the max of stuff that I need to go through, and that was kind of my goal for today. So I've already been on a long journey to declutter my entire house, and I feel like decluttering is like a muscle that if you're using, you can kind of keep it in tune and you can always keep up with it. But I like to at least do a yearly big, like, genuine declutter, and I find that one year maybe in my storage area I'm getting rid of a lot, maybe another year I'm getting rid of a lot. In the kitchen it kind of goes in waves. So if it's an easy area that I can accomplish and I just open a drawer and a couple things need to go, I'll pull it out real quick. But for some items I find myself having a really hard time getting rid of them, and there's a couple things that I've learned that really help me make the decision faster. One is like, if I say I'm gonna sell something, it's really funny. Like I'll be like, I don't know if I should get rid of this. Like I'll be having this whole mental back and forth battle. But for some reason, if I'm selling things, it's like I can get rid of so much stuff, especially when it comes to like small furniture or like slightly more expensive purchases, like anything over $40. It's like, oh yeah, if I sell that, then I can get rid of it. Even clothing, like if it's a cheaper clothing item, I have no problem getting rid of it. But the more expensive it gets, the more I'm like, oh, I should just hold on to this because it was more expensive, even if I'm literally never going to use it. So that is how this room got to the condition that it is I just started decluttering my entire house. But as I was decluttering, I wasn't actively selling or taking things to the thrift or anything like that. So there's also a huge pile in my garage that we're going to have to manage and tackle, as well as storage bins out there that I still haven't gone through, and my closet. I honestly think that this might be a multi-part series, like just looking at the facts. And I really want to walk you guys through my process of how I'm constantly decluttering, reorganizing, and keeping up spaces in my home. Like even right now, last year I spent a large portion of the year like looking for new hobbies, which was like so funny because I have really big hobbies that I'm into, and I like wouldn't let myself do things that I truly love to do. And so I spent a lot of money, time, energy buying these other things and trying them out and seeing if I liked them. And now I've organized them very cohesively. They are in set areas of the home, and I'm literally not going to use them. But now as time has gone on, I've found other hobbies that I like way more, and I just have all this leftover material. So I want to make room for my new things that I know I'm invested in, that I want to keep doing for a longer time. And I also have learned so much, like having them off in the side room versus my room where I want to do them and not having a place to put them. Like I just want to change how things are being done. So I want to walk you through that because I really struggle with that. Like I'll have something small, like reorganize my sewing stuff, and I won't do it for like 8 months, and that's when like the clutter starts to accumulate, and then it can so quickly go from like a little bit of clutter to just like out of hand clutter. Even a great example of this is these shelves. I recently did a makeover on like my sunroom, hobby room, whatever. And during that makeover, I decided that I no longer wanted these shelves in there. And then I had this whole long conversation and decided that I could get rid of them. And so in the moment, I just moved them out here. The second they were out here, I started making use of them, putting things on them. I actually do like having the color in here, but I just know that this whole entire thing, the long-term goal of it is so that I can move out of this home, and when I'm moving, I have the least amount of stuff possible. So realistically, I could sell those and probably make a little bit of money. So that's a good thing to sell versus like, you know, if I wait till moving day, I'm gonna have garbage cans, like a full-size garbage can, industrial size, and so many vehicles filled with donation stuff. Like we will have too much stuff to deal with. So I really want to be proactive in making these decisions and taking care of these things in the moment, and also just getting them off of my like mental note of to-do list type of thing. Okay, so I already know myself. If I walk into that room where all the clutter is and everything, I won't be able to make good choices. So I'm going to grab one individual bin, since everything is sorted into bins, and bring it out at a time and start showing you how I'm going through it. One of my goals is like, if you have a large stash of garbage or things that you're gonna need to throw out, like even like I think about cardboard, like recycling. Sometimes I'll make like these large stashes that I don't take care of over time, and then I'll need to like get it done, and I'll map out so much time. So one of my goals is like, if you know it's garbage, do it until your garbage can's full. So like my garbage day is coming up. I'm going to complete this project until the garbage can's full, or the recycling's full, or something that prohibits you from moving forward, but kind of setting that as like your ultimate goal off the bat, so that you know, you kind of know like, oh, this is going to make the best use of my time type of thing, but also a limit. This is where we're starting. There was some bins that I saw and immediately I was like, oh yeah, there's nothing in those that I'm going to want to get rid of. But there was others that I saw that like immediately upon impact, I was like, we got to do it. So number one, this is a crochet that I just haven't had the energy to get down, but every night I want to work on it. So I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to put it in a new place that's more accessible. These, I think long term I want to put with my sewing, but right now I'm not going to work on reorganizing. I'm just going to get a mental note of everything that's in here. I do have 3 or 4 places where I have markers, pens, things like that. The thing is though, I use all of these. I just don't use them often. I'm not always doing like a marker pen craft. I just think every time I wind up getting rid of something like this, I wind up having to go and buy something else. And this is like a mini office section, so I just don't feel the need to get rid of that. I even don't feel the need to move this because the bin closes and it's working. And really easily because they're clear, you can see everything that's in it. Okay, this is like one of those, I feel like if you're a crafter, you get this. Like I bought this and I couldn't return it, and it's just an additional strap for a purse, and then it didn't work for the purse that I bought it for, but then like I can't get rid of it because in my mind, like I might need this for another craft. And if you're a crafter, I feel like you get that. That is definitely something I want to be like thinking about now, is like, do I want to be doing that? Oh my gosh, I had no idea I had this whole time. Air dry clay. I see crafts that are doing this all the time. Does this dry out though? If I would have known, I like mentally knew that I had it, I probably would have made more stuff with it, because I have a bunch of things pinned on Pinterest that I can do this with. Okay, and then I have a rhinestone kit, and I do like bedazzling. I have a rhinestone painting and then this, and I don't get to I don't really have the need to bedazzle often, but that is like good. This is one of the items that I kept that I thought maybe I would use the rest of the clay in here, and it's been taking up mental headspace. We gotta get rid of this. Okay, as far as this other stuff, I am like a crafty person. Like I do have that problem where I get rid of things because I think I'm ready to get rid of them, and then I'm actually not ready. So I'll leave that in here. And then I'm going to throw away this box because I feel like that was taking up unnecessary space. A singular box of Legos. And I think some of the Legos actually need taken apart, but that's fine. It's not going to fit anywhere. Okay, this box has been taking up mental headspace just because I love doing like paper crafts, like making cards and making little notes for people and that sort of thing. But I feel like this box was hand-me-downs and random stuff that I got, and I've never really revisited the box. So I want to go through every individual item, know what I have, and like I know what paper I never use. Like I skip by it every time I'm making a card or something, and I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I just need to buy something for this. Okay, so number one, I have a collection of spare cards. Do I wish these were organized better? Yes. Am I cool with it and not going to change anything? Absolutely. Those have to stay. We already have a little bit of garbage. Perfect. These are great. I wind up using these all the time because sometimes you're like throwing a party and you need to label food, things like that. I'm not gonna walk you through every item, but more cards. I feel like in that other bin, we had that little thing of office supplies, and my ultimate goal would be for that to fit in here. I do have this bullet journal. I'm gonna move this into my gifts section because it was a 2-for-1 deal, and I got both of them at the same time, and that's when I learned I don't like bullet journaling. All of these I don't like because these wound up not being sticky, and these other ones I can never read what I write on them. I don't have that good of handwriting, so I'm just gonna get rid of those. And I'm gonna set a pile aside for my mom too. My mom likes this kind of stuff. Like, see, these are pictures that I saved when I was doing like a mood board or whatever. You know, at the beginning of the year, your goals board. And then like I just save this stuff forever. Like even this, it's a goals thing, but I would never grab this out of here. Instead, I would go to like, I have an easy access of note paper. Like it's all this note paper. See, I'm wondering if some of these were like gifts from my mom, or if this was like stuff that I borrowed from her and never gave back. Like I have so many questions about it, you know? I have a bunch of stickers. I'm pretty sure I bought this because this looks like something I would buy, but I'm just not ever gonna reach for those. Okay. Because I know now, like after doing crafts for so long, I know the kinds of things that I reach for. Ooh, like these tags for a gift. Always reaching for something like this. See, this is empty. Everything's been used in there. These that I used so many donuts off of. I don't remember what I used those for, but I used them apparently. Okay, again, we've got more pictures from that same craft. Then I wound up not using all of them, and then I don't know, I guess I just thought I was gonna do that again. I think this is a card I wrote somebody. Nope, just an extra card. Okay, I'll put that in the pile. I do find myself repurchasing these, like needing a certain amount or something like that, you know? So we'll keep those. More tags. These are on the top because I'm always looking for them. Oh my gosh, I borrowed my mom's Cricut, never gave this back to her. That's funny. Okay. More tags. You know what? I was getting rid of this is like a paper sheet sleeve thing. And I'm going to use this to condense all of these tags. So that if I'm looking for one, I can find one. Later on, we need to go through my gift wrapping. Okay, I'm going to just revisit when I've sorted this all into piles. My mom does scrapbooking, so she gave me all these things from her scrapbooking, and like, I think if I was gonna scrapbook, I would probably go to my mom's house and scrapbook with her. That's like I would love to get into scrapbooking, but not scrapbooking, just making people like cards and stuff. I don't really, if this stuff isn't getting the good use. Like, if I was scrapbooking, absolutely I would use it, but like, I'm not going to in the way I see it as like, this is kind of like vintage. I don't know, it's so cute. Like, I have a hard time. I'm obviously just going to give it back to my mom, so I know she would never get rid of it anyway, but it's so hard because this stuff is like so cute. Oh my gosh, like this on a little crafting page. I'm getting sucked in, aren't I? There's papers I'm confident I didn't know were here the entire time. Papers.
Cards. All sorts of things.
I'm actually going to be ruthless right now because I know my mom would not get rid of this stuff if she wasn't going to use it. I'm gonna keep one set of papers. One set. I can't get rid of it. I just can't. That's too far. Too much decluttering for me. Okay, things I'm keeping. I love to do shrinky dinks, and when I have friends over, this is like a really great craft to do. And then some of the other papers and stuff. My goal was not to get rid of it all, but it was to know exactly what's in here and what I'm gonna use. So I kept a bunch of stuff. This is more so like card filling out making and gift wrapping. Those are like kind of my two things. I don't really deviate from that into like scrapbooking at this time. If I were to get into scrapbooking down the road, it'd be dangerous for us. It would be dangerous for us all. This is my last box, and then we'll move on to the next thing. But this one should go pretty quickly. I just saw things in here that I thought like, I don't know how to play this game. I don't know if I've ever played it, but we're getting rid of one game. It's the only game in here that I literally don't know what it is, so we're gonna get rid of it. Oh, we're gonna get rid of that one. And these ones, maybe we'll play one day. I'm not a big game player with my friends. I like to play games, but not that much, and they've got to be a good game. And now I've played like 3 or 4 good games. I'm like, yep, it's pretty much one of those 3 or 4. A pile of the bins that are ready to go back in there made me feel better. And then I was like, that's right, I don't want to put them away yet because we're going to start adding things to the bins where they fit. So I'm just going to suffer through it right now, and we're going to start doing some other stuff. Okay, like I said, or maybe I did or didn't say, I don't know. I recently got into sewing, and I got a sewing machine. So I had very little sewing stuff, and I wanted to make that accessible to myself. And then also, I started getting more sewing stuff. So right now I've just been shoving it all in my other craft. Like I have this big chest, and I want to know if I want to store things in the chest, if I want to take things out, I'm not quite sure. So I made, for now, for sorting purposes, a sewing bin. I started bringing things over, and that's how I got overwhelmed almost immediately upon impact. So now I'm gonna start putting that stuff in the bins, and then I might just take my new empty bins over there to sort into piles. Okay, so I have 3 different categories of things that I grabbed. This is for embroidery, which is in the other container. This is for bedazzle painting, like diamond painting. And usually I just buy one of those and then finish them right away, but this one just was taking me forever. Like it's literally taking forever, and then I put it away because I've been working on decorating my house and stuff. And then this is just a sewing kit, which I do want to open and like take the plastic and stuff out of so that it will fit easier. Like I think some of this stuff can just be condensed. So let me grab some plastic bags and start like just organizing the nitty gritty of it, and then we'll come back to these other things. Okay, I'm out of snack size baggies, which I usually am not using, but for little stuff like this, like a snack bag inside of a sandwich bag inside of a quart size bag, that could be really good. The reason that this is not done is because I usually keep the tags on until I know I'm keeping something, but I already know I'm keeping this, so I don't know why we're holding on. So now I have 2 rolls of the same thing, but I want to store this in here so I know what it is. I have tiny pins, sewing needles. These are categories that I think I already had. I want to wrap this up and condense it. They now have retractable ones of these. Definitely would be interested in that for the organization of it all. Okay, so before I used to have 1 sewing bag, now I'm going to separate this between threads and needles.
I really prefer This one's always in the zone. Like, go in there.
It may be tedious work, but it will be done.
Honestly, let's see if in the tallest section, these ones will fit. No, they will not. Great. And now we know. Needles. Sewing needles. Okay. My working pens are going to go in here. This thing back in here. This thing. Tape measure. As the stuff gets done, it's going back in the bag. Just to get things off the table, off your workspace. Perfect. The needle scissors back in. These are individually packaged, so I'm actually going to put all the bonding stuff together in one bag. Oh, wait. And in fact, I have this thread I thought I didn't have.
This is already looking amazing. I'm gonna throw away my extra garbage and grab the next handful. For the diamond painting, I would like to put this with the bedazzling box, just because they're kind of like the same thing, like rhinestoning. I'll think of them the same. Although this is so big, it's gonna have to sit by my big Lego box. Initially, I was thinking embroidery with sewing, because they kind of go hand in hand. Sometimes you do them together. I would love the embroidery stuff to be with the beading stuff, because again, they go hand in hand, but I just don't think that's the case. The embroidery stuff I do think would fit in this container. I really feel like sewing kind of maybe needs to be its own container. Let's just put the embroidery in here for now. About it, like I said before, is that it is just like unique. Sometimes you need the little rings, sometimes you don't, you know, so just logically it changes. Here. And here's some more little sewing, my little seam ripper thing I thought I had. I want that in here. And a little pin cushion. I think I'll just throw that in here for now. See how I'm really making use of the space. Okay, let's put this at the bottom. And this will be a good thing to revisit in like 1 to 2 years. You know, like if you revisit it once a year and you haven't used it after so long, it's like, oh, okay, give it up, you know? Okay, on to the next section. I decided to just bring you over here to my bin so that you can see what I'm talking about. This is now my painting supplies, and I've just been throwing rogue things in. You can see where it was previously organized, and now I've been throwing rogue things in. Okay, so here's the thing. I bought acrylic paints when I was trying to like find what I'm into. So like I have these paintings that I started and then I never liked any of my paintings, but recently I did an oil painting and I was like, oh my gosh, I love oil painting, and all my friends are like, oh my gosh, I love you oil painting. Like we had so much fun. And so now I know I'm just not going to be doing acrylic paints, I don't think. And like I can watch a video. I'm thinking of new acrylic painting styles that I saw online and I haven't gotten to try yet, and then I might want to do it. But like with those paints, I had stuff like this to use as canvases and other things in here as canvases, and like I like that. But then I'm thinking, why am I keeping that? So originally when we started this conversation, I was like, I'm never going to get into acrylic painting again. But now I'm thinking about like this wet acrylic technique I saw where they use like a sponge, and then I was like, oh, if I tried that, maybe I would like it. and I was already going to tell you how hard I'm finding it to get rid of the acrylic paints, but these are, like, of all my crafts, these are in the most accessible area. So I do want to move it to something less accessible. And why is because they're like these huge containers. I didn't want them tipped. They're too tall, or that's what I should say. It's like I have this whole box of acrylic paints, and it's taller than like my storage boxes. But now I'm having this come to Jesus moment. Okay, I think here's the thing. We just need to move the acrylic paints to a container, and the oil paints to a container as well, because like once I'm oil painting, it's out for like 4 months at a time, and then I need to put it away after that. And I do need some up and down storage, yes, but I also can put like these oils away. So I am going to move that, and I'm going to move my sewing stuff and crocheting stuff into here because it's kind of the season for that. That's what I've been getting into lately. We don't need to get rid of all of it. And I'll make a section for larger stuff. Like even if there's a section for canvases and stuff that needs to sit up and down in here, then I'll also still have room for my sewing stuff and other stuff that I want to access. I also really would love to be able to store a blanket in here. That's one of my main goals. Okay, other items in here. These are spatulas because I have stuff in here for textured paintings as well. I'm just gonna grab, oop, cute. Hold on, come back. Can I have, that's not for you. Thank you. Just a paintbrush. I'm gonna grab some bins. I've found some bins. So I'm thinking this longer, wider one for fabric. I obviously don't have a lot of fabric now, but the second I do like one project, I'll have fabric. So just starting an area for that. And then I have 2 separate containers, one for acrylic paint and supplies, and the other for oil paint and supplies. All right, let's just start with that. I also found this little organizer caddy. I love these, and I thought with all the little compartments, maybe this would be a good thing to keep in this container because it will, like, you know, stay open and allow things to stand tall. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I'm not going to talk you through every single item because I don't think you necessarily care. I'm just going to show me putting it in so you can get an idea. Okay, so I made enough room in here for the sewing stuff. This is all I have for sewing stuff, which would fit in the drawers back here in my, this is like my crafting and work room. So they would fit back there, like all the stuff would fit in there if I wanted it to. And I decided to get rid of that other fabric because it was something that, it was curtains that I acquired at an estate sale that I decided I didn't want. And so I just decided to get rid of it. And then if I need that space down the road, I can create that space. And then I also was thinking about the sewing that I'm just gonna wait till I start doing a couple sewing projects and then make a final call on turning the drawer into it, because I also want to declutter the drawers and keep changing those out. There was some other things I wanted to add in the drawers, so I just want to like do that as it comes up. But right now there's enough space in here for a blanket and my current sewing stuff, and if I wanted to rearrange it at any time, I can.